Hey, this is Eva from Central Texas College. I'm coming at you from my office here on campus. While everybody is working remotely, I wanted to come in and share this video with you and just check in and see how everybody's doing, connect with you to see what we can do to clarify any issues or anything that's going on, and just make sure everyone knows that we are here to support you while you're doing college from home and campus is closed, and hopefully answer any questions that you may have about getting started with CTC. So we definitely miss seeing you on campus. Let me get that out of the way right away. We miss seeing all of our students that come in for classes, for advising, just having activity on the campus. It's very strange. So definitely know that you're missed. The good news is that even though we're closed and students can't come on campus, and faculty and staff are working remotely, you still can get advising completed. If you haven't already started with CTC, you can apply, you can go through the advising process, and you can register for classes from home, and we will help you through the entire process. So with students, I just want to kind of address the different types of students who might be interested, to include our current students who are trying to plan for the summer, and as well as any new students who are interested in starting. I just kind of want to address kind of each type of student separately, so we can kind of go through and talk about that. So one of the students population that's very popular right now is our high school students, local and or distance learning high school students who are seniors and who are trying to plan their college career. Normally, we would have come out and visited most of our local high school students and been on your campus this spring. Unfortunately, with what happened after spring break, we all know that didn't happen. And so we definitely missed that part of it. But if you are a high school senior, or you're a high school student who has previously been dual credit with CTC and you've been already taking classes while you've been in high school, you can still continue on and keep going through the process, even though you can't come on campus right now. So if you're a new student to CTC and you're a high school senior, all you need to do is apply and then reach out to us. And at the end of this show, I'm going to give some, I'm going to show a screen that's going to show you how to contact us. I'm not going to try to say it and make you write it down right now, but I'll go through that contact information here in a moment. But as a high school student, you may or may not have taken the Texas Success Initiative Assessment, the TSI assessment, while you were on campus in the spring. If you did, great. If you didn't, we can still make sure that we get you going. The state has provided guidelines for colleges if our testing centers are closed. So even though you, if you took the test, great. If not, it's still okay. Basically, we just want to make sure you understand we can still get you going with or without that. So first thing you would do is apply if you haven't already done that. If you've already applied as a high school dual credit student, just contact us and we'll make sure your account is updated with the new information as a regular college student, non-high school, and we'll help you get started with that process. If you're an adult learner out there and you're interested in starting with CTC, it's not kind of the same idea. We'll work with you on an individual basis to look at your information. While new students are required to take the TSI assessment, again, we have a workaround for that since our testing center is closed. So we'll look at you on an individual basis to see if you would have needed that. Some exceptions and waivers are granted for certain situations. So we'll look at you on a very individualized basis to see if you already have something, or to see if there, what would need to be done at this point. So again, the first step is to apply. We're going to go through all of that here in a little while, but then you'll work with an advisor to go forward with that process. So again, even though it's remote, it's still going to, and we miss you, it's still going to be the same process to go through and get you started. I know right now there's another student type of population that I wanted to address, and that is some of our college students who maybe are attending a four-year public institution in the state of Texas. Maybe you're over at College Station or down in Austin or Dallas, and you may have heard from a friend, hey, I took this summer class with Central Texas College last year and it was really great. I was able to knock it out over the summer and then I was good to go. So we know that population is there, and we just want you to know we're still here for you. We will, provide everything that we can do. Some students, you may live here or your family may be from here and you went off to college, but we can still do that with you. So if that is something that would be interesting for you to be able to get started with, then we'll definitely do that. So there's a lot of great classes online, like science courses that maybe you don't want to take at your home institution. You want to just knock it out over the summer really fast. We'll get you going. So that would be the second type of student. And then lastly, current students. And I really want to talk to our current student population. I know that with everything that happened, if you were taking classes on campus, you may or may not have been able to successfully finish the spring semester. So maybe you were in the middle of some courses, and with everything that went on, maybe some personal things came up and you ended up having to withdraw. Or maybe not. Maybe you stayed strong and you finished out the spring semester and you just want to make sure you continue and stay on path. In either scenario, it's definitely something that we want you to know, that we want you to stay on that same path. And with the current situation, I know there's a lot of extra added stressors, but we are here to help you with where you're at. So maybe it's one class over the summer, or maybe it's a targeted approach of this class starts in May and another class that starts in July. We want to make sure you stay on path to finish your degree plan with CTC. So as a current student, I just encourage you to, if you did have to withdraw from your spring classes, don't let it become a larger break. Make sure you pick it back up this summer, and we will help you get started with that. Reaching out to your advisor, maybe you were working with somebody specifically, you can still work with us through email. I've also got some other options of the ways you can reach us, and we'll go through that in a little while. But just make sure you reach out to them, and they're working from home and they miss seeing your face, but they really want to help you stay on track. So just keep that in mind, that while the spring semester may have been slightly disrupted, we want to make sure you are staying on path and are successful in your classes and completing your goal with CTC. So I'm going to see if we can move over to the interactive portion of this. So I'm going to go ahead and share my web browser here. Just give that a moment to come up. So I'm going to pull up our CTC website. And I just want to show you some of the information that I think would be most helpful for you. So first of all, how can you contact us? So I've mentioned email, of course, and you may or may not already know that email. If not, if you are looking at our homepage, any student who hasn't applied, the Apply Now button is right here on our main page. You click that link, you're going to be able to submit your application online. If you haven't already done so, get that submitted. It takes about 24 to 48 hours to process. As soon as you apply, if you finish the application, I recommend you go ahead and email your advising office. So to look for your advising office, go ahead and hover over the Students tab, and then go down under Current Students here. You're going to go to More Resources, and then you're going to go to the Academic Advising. We'll let that pull up. So this is our page, and it's got a little blurb here at the top about our health alert for COVID-19. We're going to head over to that area in a moment, but down here below that is all of our contact information based on what type of student you are. So academic advising, not only can you email us, which is listed here, there's also a chat feature. So if you wanted to connect with an advisor, even though it's not face-to-face, it would be an immediate back and forth, a conversation that you could have. So you can click on that link to chat through a web browser there. And so that's just going to pull up a place where you can type in and talk to an advisor, and they'll be able to write back to you. Our CATE Center advisors are also still working. So if you are in a CATE program, which is our industrial technology and office technology programs, definitely feel free to reach out to those folks. Equals on Call is our office who works with students who are either not able to come on campus, or maybe you live out of state and so you're a remote learner anyway. So they're open Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So their hours are a little bit more non-traditional than our Central Campus Advising Office. And so they also have the chat feature. So either of those offices there, you're going to be able to connect with somebody in a more immediate sense. Their hours are a little bit longer. So again, hopefully that helps out if the time zones are different for where you're at, and or if you're working during the day or whatnot, you can still connect on a time that's good for you. And again, their email is there as well. And then, of course, for any international students, you're probably already working with Ms. Lopez, and she's been reaching out to you. But any international students, you would want to contact her, and she'll get you started. So that's our page. So again, if you're a new student, apply, connect with your advisor as soon as you apply, because we can start working with you as soon as that application is submitted. And then if you're a current student, you're just needing to know, like, how can I connect? Maybe I don't want to just email, maybe I really want to talk to somebody, you can do the chat. So I just wanted to point that out. So if we do go over to the health alert, I'm going to head over to the student update side, which on the link, and I do want to point out the update for summer 2020 courses. So again, all of the updates that we've been putting out are condensed on this page. So you may want to go check out if you've missed any announcement or anything. It's all living on this page for you to go look at. But this information here about summer 2020 courses, I know we have a lot of students asking, you know, what's going to happen. We are in the process of registering for our central campus semester, but those courses will begin as online, as you can read here. And so just keep in mind for any courses starting June 1st this summer, those courses or a May, if there's a May course, it will, if it's supposed to be a lecture course, it will begin as online. And then if allowed during the semester based on, you know, guidelines and recommendations, based on the needs of the course, there may be at some point you might be brought back on campus to finish the course, but your instructor will keep you updated on all of that. And so again, with the courses starting as online, you'll be notified if you register for those the weekend prior to the start date. You'll be getting notifications about how to, you know, connect with your instructor and access your course materials.
Ava, I have a question with regards to science classes for the summer.
Okay.
If they're going to be any, you know, with the labs that normally have to be face to face, is that going to be an option?
Not to begin with. Again, as I spoke with the academic side of the house yesterday, and they were clear that at the beginning it is going to be completely online. So if it is a science course that has a lab, when you buy materials, because we already offer, before this happened, we already offered some science courses that were online. And so if you were in a lab science course that was online, you bought a lab package based on the fact that your course was online. It's a different lab package that you purchase with your course materials if it's a face-to-face course. So if you begin in a science course that is offered as being taught as online, it will most likely stay that way. And then some courses that were not developed as online, they're considering putting those out for the second round of summer, because there's some courses that we offer that have never been online. They've always been a classroom course. Like you might think of anatomy and physiology, like that. You've never been able to take that before as an online course. If they begin that course, it will start in July. And it will be, if it's not on campus, the instructors will make sure that the students have a lab materials to buy to accommodate the online environment. But they need time to get that together. So that's why you're not seeing those types of courses in June. So I definitely recommend students go look at our registration page for any science courses and what's out there. And actually, we'll go out and look at that here in a moment. So that's a great question. Thank you, Mariceli. So once you're here, I do want to point out there's a lot of student support and resources, helpful links and facts. So I'm just going to click over to the FAQs page really quickly. This is just a lot of different resources that we've kind of coalesced into one area. So if you're needing help with the library, if you're needing help with a research paper, or if you need to come on campus to utilize some Wi-Fi, we've got a Wi-Fi parking lot. So I think those are some really great options. I'm going to kind of scroll down. Hopefully that's not too fast. There's a lot of how-to videos about some of our systems. And then there's some external resources that may be something that could help our students out. So definitely check out this part of the page if there's anything in there that you need to help you be successful. Okay, so make sure I want to point that out. So now I would like to go ahead and kind of go over our student tools link here. So here's where you're going to find pretty much everything that you use as a student that requires a login. So Web Advisor is where you go in to see your student account. It's where Eagle Self-Service lives, where you register, pay, look at your financial information, etc. Blackboard down here in the middle is where you access your online courses. So that's a great link. eForms is our pretty much any form that you might need to fill out on paper, we already had as an electronic option. So there is, so there may be times when you need to use that, like if you do have to submit for a withdrawal, that would go through that system. And then of course, student email and transcript requests. So those are just all super popular things that student needs. So they all live right there. I'm going to go back down here to these how-to videos. There is a how-to to log into eTree. So if you're having trouble, I recommend you start there. If you continue to have trouble, definitely reach out to an advisor. We will help you. But when you go to the, you can go and just search courses. I just wanted to kind of walk you through. I'm not logging in as a student, but I wanted to walk you through what it looks like when you get to this portion. So because science is the question of the hour, the question of the day, I'm going to go ahead and look up a biology course. And so when you search for anatomy and physiology, once you search for the course, and you can search, I searched specifically for something because I want to pull that class directly. If you didn't know which specific class, you could always search by the, just BIOL for biology, things like that. And it also had links you could click. Once you're here, the filter options, always use your filter. Filters are your friends. So let's say you are interested in a class and you know it's a central campus class. So it's going to be considered a lecture course. Once you click your first filter, it's going to kind of automatically know, because I asked to look for biology 2401, it's going to know that there's not a summer 1 option. So right now there's a summer 2 option. And once you click on that and pull it down, you're going to see that right now they are in registration for biology 2401. That is going to be running, these days and times of the week. Again, this will most likely start out online, but with the times, if your instructor, depending on the instructor and the way the class is run, they might utilize those lecture times to have remote content online. So that's why those times are still there. But again, it started in July for this course to allow for it to, for them to get that content up and running, since it's never been online before. I'm going to search for another class. I'm going to search for English 1301, because this is a class that everybody needs. And so once you search for it, of course, it's always been online and it's always been a campus course. So you could go either way. So like maybe you're looking at this course and you want to take it, let's just say you want to take it in the summer. So I'm going to click on the summer. And let's just say, I want to take it on Central Campus. Again, for summer 2020, it's going to start off online, but you can find it as a classroom course here. And these timeframes, again, if the instructor decides to, they can use those timeframes to utilize remote learning and remote content for instruction. If you don't want to deal with remote, like I just want to take a class online and I don't want to have to be online at a specific time, then I would recommend you look at just our straight distance learning. So once you filter it over to distance learning, you can see all of the different summer start dates. So we've got some May, and it keeps going on from there. There's always so many options for English 1301 because it's a course that everybody needs. So it starts in May, going down, and you can utilize the other filters to narrow your search. Like if you don't want a May class and you want a June, then you can go up here and tell it that if you would like to. So that's our registration. And again, we don't want you to sit there and struggle. So if you are having issues with this part of it when you're in your account and you're having an issue, I recommend you go back to the page where it listed our assistance, so you could reach out to us on chat. And the neat thing about the chat is, if needed, we could share our screen content. So if you were having issues and you're like, I keep getting this weird message, I want to show it to you, you could utilize the chat to do so. All right, so let me go back to our main page now that we've looked at all of that. And I just noticed this alert is going to be, and when you do log in as a student and you're searching for courses, it's going to look just like this, and it will have this alert. So it's going to remind you that those courses are going to begin as remote. So let me get back over to this page. So again, student tools, everything that is listed under the student tools page is kind of where students live for their login information, logging into Blackboard, logging into WebAdvisor, etc. I also wanted to take you over to the students page, back again to the more resources. And then while I'm going over here, I'll go ahead and point out all of the links to chatting with us, live under academic advising. They're going to be posted in some other places as well. I don't know if they're out yet, so I'm just going to mention that and then move on. And then I just wanted to point out there's a lot of resources here, like books and instructional materials. Like those are all things you can find in the other pages too, but a lot of, it's all condensed right here. Financial aid, things of that nature. So I wanted to point out the registration area. I'm going to click on their page. And I just wanted to mention, if you're having issues with registering, there is a step-by-step guide that you can access here. There's the video back on the COVID page for our resources. And then there's a video here. So this would be a step-by-step, like a PDF guide. This is going to be a video of WebAdvisor and student planning. So if you're having an issue, those are great resources if you don't want to reach out to us, but always reach out to us. If I don't want you to sit there and struggle if there's an issue going on. So that is really just about everything that I have as far as our presentation today. I just want to say again, we really miss having everybody on campus. So we're hopeful that everybody can come back as soon as safely possible. And of course, our administration will be sharing that information as they know and can deem the safety to bring students back. And then you'll probably hear a big old cheer from this side of the campus once that happens. But we just wish that everybody knows, we just want everybody to know we're here for you. We want you to be safe and healthy. We want you to be successful in your classes. So whatever we can do to help you with that, just let us know. We'd be happy to do so. So I'm just going to ask Mariceli in the background there if there's anything else, any questions that came through or anything that I can assist with from the Facebook end.
We've been having quite a few really good questions. So one of them is we have some students that have been currently doing dual credit, and some of them are graduating right now and plan on coming to CTC after they graduate, even in the summer. And then I have others that have mentioned, how is the dual credit going to continue with what's currently happening?
Okay, so for the dual credit seniors, if you're wanting to start, you don't have to do anything except connect with an advisor. We have to update a few things on our end, so we just need to know that you want to continue, and we've been doing some things to reach out to you anyway. But if you are wanting to continue, send us an email. So head over to the more resources page under current students and go to academic advising and either email or connect with us on live chat. If you're dual credit high school senior continuing, wanting to just finish your degree with CTC, there's not going to be a lot you have to do on your end to get that started. You're not going to have to resubmit an application if you're a current student, things of that nature, but we just need your information so we can update the background of your information, and then we'll tell you and explain how to register in WebAdvisor. As a dual credit student, you've never registered on your own before. So that's one of the question marks I know you have. So when we connect with you, we're going to send you back. This information's out there for you as well, but we're also going to send back information to you to walk you through that. And again, if we need to walk you through it step by step while you're, working from your home computer, we'll do that. So for the dual credit students, just connect with an advisor, send us your information. If you know your CTC ID, great. Your CTC ID is a 7-digit number that begins usually with a 1, might lead with a 0, just depending on when you started. But if you don't know that, that's okay. But tell us your name and tell us your date of birth. As long as we have that information, we can look up your file. Regarding, I already forgot the tail end part of that, Maricela. You said, continuing dual credit. So if you're continuing dual credit, it just depends on the program you're doing. You can reach out to academic advising. We'll get you to where you need to go. If you were working with somebody from our public education department, like if you were STEM or early college, high school, and you already have somebody you're working with, connect with them. If you don't have anybody, reach out to us and we will help you continue. Students can still do dual credit over the summer, and so we'll get you that information.
I still had some questions with regards to TSI for returning students, because you mentioned that TSI for new students was waived for the moment, but can you explain about returning students as well?
So TSI is it's a state requirement. So what we're doing right now, and it does mention it down here, for registration as a new student, we're having you go online and take the practice TSI, because you can do that from home. It's not a secured test. It's just on our website. You have to send those results to us and we place you based on the practice. If you're a continuing student and you took the TSI, we will use your scores that are in the system to place you. And so you would just be continuing on. A continuing student, if you were in a program where it did not require that you take the TSI, you would fall under the same rules as a new student. We would have you do that if now you needed to take it. So until our testing center is reopened and you can come in and take the actual exam, we're having students do this. And then I just say, send us your information. And again, we work with you on a very individualized basis. So again, you could have been in a program that didn't require the TSI. You may be starting a program that now does require it. And maybe you have an exemption, maybe you're a prior military. So we just need to know who you are and your information so we can, and we ask you questions, look at your record to see how you answered questions on the application to assess that. So we can definitely get you that information. But again, if you're a current student and you didn't already take it, we'll treat you just like a new one if you did need it, and we'll have you take the assessment that is available. It's just about 20 questions on the reading, writing, and math areas. There's about 20 questions each. You'll go through that. So your advisor would tell you which one you needed. It can be very individualized as to which one you need, and then place you based on that. But if you have current TSI scores, we can't place you off of the practice. We have to place you off of what is currently in the system. So if you took it previously and maybe you were wanting to repeat it to get better scores, unfortunately, we can't allow you to repeat it, and we would have to use the scores that were currently in the system.
Okay, and then I have another question here about the Kate Center and the classes.
Okay.
He is concerned that he is not able to register for his next course till June 1st. And he's hearing something about no labs in the summer. Can you kind of explain?
Going back, let me go back. Well, let me go to here. If you look at this, all classes, including the Kate Center courses, are under the delivery method of online. I do know that there are some courses in the Kate Center, so it depends on the program, but there are some programs that don't allow for the remote learning, so they're not going to be available. I recommend you reach out to the Kate Advising Center specifically for you, so that they can look at your program and what classes you can take to see if there is one available or not. So I do recommend you reach out to the advisors in the Kate Center. So again, their email is right here, kate.center@ctcd.edu. I hesitate to say anything super specific about that in regard to the classes you're hearing about, just not knowing what they are.
Okay. And it's my understanding that if there's a hands-on component, sometimes they'll be by appointment. For some of the programs?
For some of the programs, if there is a hands-on component, I'm going to go back to the update here. It's going to begin as online. If as needed for hands-on component and as deemed safe, your instructor will let you know if you're allowed on campus for any of the hands-on component.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Oh, and then how about for registration itself? He's saying, okay, so for registration, when can they start registering the Kate programs for the actual classes to begin?
It would depend on the classes that you're needing in your program. So because the Kate Center is so specific, again, I just urge you to reach out to the Kate Center advisors kate.center@ctcd.edu to find out when they could, because their registration schedule isn't quite the same as ours for regular classes. So if there is a course that you can continue doing, they'll be able to help you with the registration process.
Thank you, Eva. And let me see. I had somebody ask about how to update classes for the VA, and I'm not sure if that's something that you know.
Oh, so like if you're registering for the summer and you're a VA student, again, they're working remotely. I know a lot of VA students are used to coming over to Building 111 and talking to their certifying official in person and telling them their class schedule, but you don't have to do that. All you have to do is submit your schedule to them using eTrieve. So you're going to go to Student Forms, and I'm going to go ahead and log in as me and show you the form that you need to submit as a VA student. They're going to receive it electronically, and they are going to process everything just the same. So I am going to, when you log in, you're going to see the same menu here to eTrieve. And if you need a step-by-step guide for this, just reach out to Advising, we can get that to you. We have forms and they're searchable. So the form for veterans to submit once they've registered so that their classes can be certified, it's called the Veterans Enrollment Certificate. So just start typing veterans and it'll pop up. So once you get to that form there, you're going to, of course, it's populating my information. It'll populate your information in your account and you'll just fill out the fields and then you'll submit it at the bottom. Got a little bit to go through all the fields. And so if you're here locally, if you're a Texas student, you will submit by the last name of your, by the letter of your first letter of your last name. If you are not in Texas or if you're overseas and you're not connected to a CTC site, you'll submit it to the outside Texas area. And so it goes to a certain person to process and they will take care of processing for you. So most students that I think our audience are right now are probably going to be either distance learning out of Texas or in Texas. So if you're in Texas, anywhere in Texas, here, outside of Texas, here. I hope that helps.
Yes. So I just want to clarify that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, student services are not answering their phones," and we just want to clarify that most of our CTC staff is actually working from home.
Yes, we are working remotely, and so just with our phone system, most of them, you can leave a message and they're checking it and they'll call you back or contact you back. I'm hoping that over the next few weeks, based on what we're allowed to do, there might be some more people allowed to come in to monitor phones. But unfortunately, right now, working remotely, the phones, you would have to leave a message. So we do encourage you to reach out to your area by email, and most of the messages on the phone should indicate that. I will let you know there are different areas that have the chat, other than just myself, that have the chat available and soon to be available. I know financial aid is up, Go Financial Aid. So you can go to those pages, and if there is a chat feature, then that would be how we would encourage you to reach out to us rather than the phone for that immediate.
Can you show them that? Because I've had a lot of people ask about financial aid, and I know that's not your specialty, but if you could show them at least where financial aid chat is, that'd be great.
Sure. Sorry, my bad. So I hovered over students and I clicked on financial aid. So once you get to their main page, it's the live help link here, and it's also here on the side. You can also search the CTC page. So if you forget that, just search for financial aid. It's going to take you to the same area. Anything else?
I think those are the only questions. I mean, we have a pretty active Facebook page right now, and I want to thank everybody for their comments and questions and kind of helping each other out. I just want to remind everybody that next week we're going to have somebody from Office Technology, and we're going to be able to do the same thing that we're doing right now for Office Technology students. So if you're interested in any of those classes, we would really love it if you would pop back in. We'll send out some information soon. The date, it should be next Wednesday, but I can't remember right now the time. I hope that everybody, gets a lot of information from this. And so thank you everybody for making this happen. I hope your questions were answered, and that, now you'll really know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, then definitely go ahead and at least know how to get a hold of someone. So please make sure it's going to be Wednesday. I just found information. It's going to be next Wednesday at 10 is what we're going to have the next live with the Office Technology team.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ava. Thank you to everybody. This has been really great. I hope that we can continue, to have these conversations with everybody, and that we're here. We're here.
Absolutely. I appreciate everybody chiming in on the question side of it. I appreciate your tuning in to my session. Mariceli, I'm available anytime if you ever feel like this would be a valuable resource to do again. We can do it again. So we're definitely anxious to help you. We want to make sure we address your needs, your concerns. So again, just thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.